To connect Calendly to Zapier, start in your Zapier dashboard, open a new Zap, and you'll link your entire scheduling system to thousands of apps in just a few minutes. Open your browser and go to zapier.com. If you're not already signed in, the login page appears right away. Use the credentials for the account where you plan to build your automations. This matters more than you'd think, because Zaps live inside a specific account, and transferring them later is a hassle. Once you're in, the dashboard loads with your existing Zaps listed down the left-hand side, and a big orange Create button in the upper left corner. That's your starting point. Click that Create button, then choose Zaps from the drop-down. The Zap editor opens as a blank slate with a trigger step waiting. Every Zap begins with a trigger, the event that kicks everything off. And for us, that event will come from Calendly, so we'll set it up exactly that way. You'll also notice a spot to name your Zap at the top left. I always rename mine right now with something descriptive like Calendly booking to HubSpot contact, because 6 months from now, untitled Zap means nothing and you'll waste time hunting. Click the trigger step. The app picker shows your most recently used apps and a search bar. Type Calendly, and as you do, the icon appears. Click it. Now you'll see a choice. Use Calendly as a trigger, which fires when someone schedules, cancels, or reschedules a meeting, or use it as an action. For example, automatically creating a Calendly invite from a different trigger. For nearly every scheduling automation, you want it as the trigger, so pick that. Zapier then asks you to connect an account, and that's where we go next. Click Sign In or connect a new account. A pop-up window opens, sending you to Calendly's login page. Here's the gotcha. If you manage multiple Calendly accounts, say one for personal and one for your team, make absolutely sure you sign into the account that owns the event types you need. I once connected my personal account by accident and spent 20 minutes wondering why my team's event types never appeared in the drop-down later. After you log in, Calendly shows a permission screen listing exactly what Zapier will access, like reading your event types, scheduled events, and cancellations. Review that, then click Allow or Authorize. The pop-up closes, and Zapier shows a green connected badge with your email. Your Calendly account is now linked securely through OAuth, so you won't need to re-enter a password every time. Click Continue, then hit the Test button. Zapier reaches out to Calendly and pulls a sample event to confirm everything talks. You'll see a success message and, if you've had recent bookings, a preview of real data, invitee name, email, event type, and start time. If the test fails, the number one culprit is that your Calendly account has no event types, or you've connected the wrong account. Go directly to Calendly in another tab. Double-check your active event types, and if needed, disconnect here and connect the correct account. Another thing, if your Calendly account has 0 bookings ever, the test can't pull sample data automatically. In that case, click Find New Data or Load More below the test result, and Zapier will grab whatever it can, even an empty data structure that proves the connection works. Once it passes, click Continue again. Now you'll fine-tune exactly what sets off your Zap. If you picked a trigger like Invitee Created, you'll see a drop-down for event type. Choose the specific event that matters, like your 30-minute discovery call. Leave it set to all event types only if you genuinely want the Zap to fire for every single booking. Most workflows run cleaner with a focused rule. I keep my Calendly event type names crystal clear, like consultation 30 minutes. Precisely so this drop-down is easy to scan. Depending on the trigger, you might also see a status field. For example, you could limit the Zap to only run on active events, avoiding cancelled bookings. Set those filters now to prevent unnecessary task runs later. Click Continue when you're satisfied. Now add the action step, what you want to happen after a booking. Zapier shows a fresh app picker. You might choose Google Sheets to log each meeting, your CRM to create a contact, or Gmail to send a confirmation. Search for the app, authenticate if needed, then map fields using the data from your Calendly trigger. Invitee name and email will be available to drop straight in. Once the action is configured, click the Test Step button at the bottom of the action. Zapier simulates a booking and runs the whole sequence. A green checkmark confirms it worked, and you can verify the action actually occurred. Check your sheet or CRM for a test entry. I always take an extra minute to book a real test appointment through my own Calendly link, then watch the Zap history in the Zapier dashboard to see it fire live. When you're ready, flip the Publish toggle from off to on. Your automation is now live, and you'll see a timestamp of the last trigger right on the Zap details page. Your Calendly to Zapier integration is now running. You can add more steps, build branching logic, or duplicate this Zap for other event types. If you hit a snag, pop into your Zap history. It shows every run and the exact data that passed, which makes debugging a breeze. I'll see you in the next one.